With us now, Tom Dupree, former Deputy Assistant Attorney General under George W. Bush. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good to see you. When I listened to the press conference, I thought there were bodies in the East River. There had been new developments that were going up because of Eric Adams, and it turns out it was a couple of plane tickets, a couple of free hotel rooms, not saying it's right, and in return, there was a fire inspection that had been moved up. What's going on here?
Yeah, it certainly is not the bodies in the Hudson River case. This is a case, in my view, of graft, but low-level graft. As you say, the United States is alleging that the mayor took money, got nice hotel rooms, got nice plane rides, and in exchange, he did favors for the Turkish government. He pressured the fire department, allegedly, to approve a Turkish skyscraper.
Which is all wrong. It's just a little
wrong, exactly. And look, I mean, I think from the government's perspective, they say this is a public corruption case, and we need to make sure our public officials are held to the highest standard of integrity. And in this case, Mayor Adams, over the course of years, fell short.
Right, and then there's always the comparisons, right, between things that happen in Washington and stock trading and contracts that given that somehow certain things are legal, certain things are illegal. I thought they should just be indicted for stupidity. I don't know if you've ever read an indictment that looks like this. These were text messages. Adams staffer to the Turkish airline manager who was the go-between. He's also asking where they can go in Turkey. Do you have a recommendation? Airline manager, Four Seasons, one of the most expensive hotels in Turkey. Adams staffer, is too expensive. Airline manager, and this is perfect because this is exactly how people talk in the Arab world. Why does he care? He's not going to pay. His name will not be on it either. Adam staffer, super. Have people not figured out that the text messages are the worst thing you can ever do?
Text messages are forever, and you gotta know, Leland, when those prosecutors were typing up the indictment and they put that in, they had big grins on their faces. I mean, this is gold for these prosecutors. The other thing they put in the indictment, which is very interesting, is they included photographs of the luxury hotel suites that Adams stayed in while abroad. So they wanted to send a public message. This is what you call in the trade a speaking indictment, because it tells a story of graft and corruption through text messages, through emails, through photos, far more eloquently than mere words could.
Okay, so I am remembering you and I having a very similar conversation about a speaking indictment against Donald Trump when the documents that were allegedly at Mar-a-Lago were perfectly arranged with the covers, and it was done just so the FBI could take a picture of it, put it in the indictment. They know that was going to be everywhere. Eric Adams has been outspoken about the Biden administration. He was one of the first to come out as it related to the Biden administration's handling of the migrant crisis. And he said, look, I'm being targeted. Can you, in your long and illustrious career, remember such a big deal being made about like a 50-cent crime here?
Yeah, look, this is an unusual indictment in that sense. I mean, we saw the Senator Menendez indictment for, bribery and the like, and that was, gold bars in the closet, a lot more money. This, again, is low level. I mean, you could say cases like the case brought against John Edwards for campaign contributions and the like, that you could say those kind of fell at the low level and nonetheless were prosecuted. It's hard for me to see a political motive here. I know the Adams team is pushing that hard. I mean, this is obviously a Democratic administration. Biden and Harris wouldn't seem to have a lot to gain by prosecuting Adams, unless they wanted to say, look, we're even-handed. We prosecute Donald Trump, we prosecute Adams.
They do that. Now, Stacey Plaskett, who is not a member of Congress, she's a delegate from the Virgin Islands, talked about the Department of Justice in a way that I've never heard an elected official talk in this way. I wanted to get your thought. Take a listen.
We are having these hearings so that you become immune. You become inured to the notion of the removal of the FBI and DOJ, so that those agencies are no longer there to serve as a check against white nationalism, great replacement theorists, Christian nationalists, white fragility, fascists, and the twice impeached, convicted felon, former president and would-be dictator, Donald Trump.
Once you start saying that the DOJ and the FBI are there to go after your political enemies, How do we come back from that?
That is the hard question and an important question for our era, frankly, and that is something we have seen from both sides of the aisle. We've seen conservatives make that attack. We've seen liberals make that attack. I personally think it is, number one, totally unjustified and false. I think the men and women of the FBI and law enforcement are straight shooters with integrity. They put their lives in line every day for us. I don't see political motives behind 99% of these types of prosecutions, no matter what they say.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.